If you would be turning your Bibles over to 2 Timothy chapter 4. 2 Timothy chapter 4. We're going to look at that in just a moment. So I think that all of us understand when we talk about or mention the word anticipation. Right now I can think of Wyatt, and I think Wyatt is probably joyously anticipating his birthday, which is next week. He turns 10, so moving into the double digits is something at that age. I'm sure most of you that can remember that age probably were anticipating that. Now, on the other hand, Clarissa also has a birthday next week, and she's turning a different age than Wyatt. And so I wonder, well, what's the anticipation level there? Probably not the same as when you're turning 10, right? So we think of anticipation typically when we have something that we're really looking forward to. But that's not necessarily the only thing that we have anticipation about. So this is a definition that I found in regards to anticipation: an emotion involving pleasure or anxiety in considering or awaiting an expected event. So we can think about in earthly terms the things that we anticipate. I think about Lauren and the baby and how her and Robert are, the anticipations that they have now, not just them, Rhonda and Mr. Senior Robert as well, the anticipation, the joy that they have. But what about a surgery, something that you know that you have that's upcoming? You're probably not looking at that with joy. There might be some anxiety with that. I think about Jesus when he's getting prepared to go to the cross. He was anticipating this. He knew exactly what was coming. And think of him in the Garden of Gethsemane. He's not joyous. Think of the anxiety that he's feeling. Well, there's a judgment day coming for all of us that we better be anticipating. Now, whether or not you're anticipating that with joy or with anxiety depends on your condition. Are you saved or are you not? So a passage that we all know very well over in Acts chapter 8, when the eunuch was saved, you remember what was said of him? It says that the eunuch no longer saw him, speaking of Philip there, but he says, but he went on his way rejoicing. He's happy now. He's in a saved condition, so he can anticipate the judgment day with this joyous anticipation. Well, in 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 6, we recognize here Paul was looking forward to his future because he knew that he was in a saved condition. He says, in the future there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have loved his appearing. That's the anticipation that we can have when we're in a saved condition. We can have that anticipation as Paul did. But if you're not in a saved condition, you should be anxious. In Hebrews chapter 10, we oftentimes refer to Hebrews 10 verse 25 about not forsaking and admonishing one another or encouraging one another. But in verse 26 it says, for if we go on sinning willfully after receiving the knowledge of the truth, there no longer remains a sacrifice for sins, but a terrifying expectation of judgment and the fury of a fire which will consume the adversaries. Tonight, what's your level of anticipation? Are you joyously anticipating the judgment day, or are you anxious about the judgment day? You and God know that. What must I do to be saved? Such a valuable question, one that we need to ask ourselves right now. If you're not in a saved condition, what must I do? There's something that you have to do. God's done his part, but there's still a part that we have to do. And whether or not you've done that is going to say whether or not you're joyously or anxiously anticipating that judgment day. We can help you with that tonight. If you're not joyously anticipating the judgment day, let us help you become a Christian. Or if you are a Christian and you're living a life of sin, let us help you get back on the right path so that you can joyously anticipate the judgment day. If we can assist you in your service to God in any way this evening, please come forward as we stand and sing the song that's been selected.